Welcome to this new series of webinar by the EU SME Centre. I'm David Laborel. I'm the business advisor of the EU SME Centre, and I will be your host for this event. Let me handle back also everything to Lapo Tanzj, who will present you everything you need to know to sell on TMall Global.
So let's start with TMall Global. The first thing about TMall Global is that we have to understand what is cross-border e-commerce in China. So only a few words about this. In 2013, the Chinese government started allowing foreign brands to sell in China using authorized platform, number one right now, TMall Global, part of Alibaba Group, to sell products not imported in China. So there are many reasons. There's a fiscal reason, because in this sense, brands and platforms pay the duty on this product. There's the second reason, to control also, let me say, a sort of not controlled market of foreign products entering in China without registration. So it was a very interesting and smart solution, allow platforms and brands to use this channel to sell under a legal framework their products in the Chinese market. So all the products sold on cross-border e-commerce are not products imported in China before the sales, but are products imported in China during the phase of the sales on a digital solution like TMall Global. So there is a special channel at the custom, there is a special channel, there is a special duty, and this allow all the brands to be, let me say, also compliant with the country of origin, Spain, Italy, Germany, and so on, law, and also the Chinese one. Sell officially under a legal framework. There are many platforms in China. The one that now is covering around 40%, so very big in terms of market share of the cross-border sales in China, is TMall Global. TMall Global is the global, so cross-border e-commerce version of TMall, that is the most important B2C platform in China, owned by the Alibaba Group. Right now, as you can see, there are thousands of foreign brands, many categories, many countries, and a lot of active users. It is very easy for a Chinese consumer to buy on TMall Global. They only have to do one thing, that is a plus over other e-commerce platform, that is add their Chinese ID. So if they add the Chinese ID, they can buy a foreign product on this platform. Usually, the consumer that buy products on cross-border e-commerce on TMall Global are consumers, is a target audience that is interested to buy a foreign product, understanding potentially a foreign brand, also paying a little bit a premium price against a local product or against a product of a foreign brand that is imported. And this is why it's super interesting, this platform, because it allows us to sell at a little bit more a premium price, control the market against selling, importing, and then losing where is sold, the distribution, the retail stores, and so on. So the brand can control absolutely the market there. And also target a consumer that is a consumer that potentially also travel in Europe, buy the products in stores, physical or digital stores in Europe. So there is a strongest connection in terms of the target user for this kind of specific platform. Let me go. What's happening and which are emerging categories? It is always quite difficult to say what's working, what is not working, which categories are booming, which are not booming. What we can say that everyone now is talking, for example, about pet. Pet is the substitution of kids in China. As you know, the demography in China is changing a lot. No more kids in China in general, let me say. A lot of people change the habits. A lot of young people have a dog, have a cat, and they're spending money on this. And so they want to buy best product, pay more, find foreign products. And so this is a big trend. But when we say that there is a big trend, it doesn't mean that there is a huge market size, okay? So as you know, China is fast, meaning that when the trends start, we can see 300% year on year, 200%, 300%, then the market stabilize a little bit. But my suggestion is to study the market size, which is the market size of your specific product. You will see in the last part of the presentation where we will go on supplements. There are many, or beauty, there are many brands asking us, I want to sell this specific vitamin or iron or product, which is my market, which is the market size of the Chinese consumer that are buying the product online, that are buying the product on cross-border e-commerce at this specific price. If we don't study this, then it's very difficult. So the approach that is, China is so big, there's a lot of people there. So even if 0% people buy my product, I will succeed. This absolutely is not working. This is not the approach. This is not a way on how to face this market. We have to study deep. We have to understand which is the target audience. We have to study how to address the communication to them and how to let my product become available. TMall Global is to let my product become very easy available to them. But then I have to do all the other part, okay? Health product, OTC. Then, as you know, outdoor sport is a global trend, but is a super strong trend also in China, and also home decor. This doesn't mean that other categories already existing in the market are not going well. The size is big, even if fashion is generally globally restructuring all the approach on how to stay on the market and so on, is still one of the most important category, and also other industries. So, but new trends are mainly this one. What to do if you want to start understanding and then eventually opening a store on TMall Global. So first of all, there are two concepts that are very important for the market, for the platform. On TMall Global, we open a store. So there is a merchant, someone that is selling the product, and there is a specific store. It's a little bit different compared to other global marketplaces where it is more important the product against the store. The store is on other marketplaces, sometimes is more like an account. But here the store is like a physical store. Is something. So the store is the key to, let me say, face the consumer, is the key to target your marketing activities, is the key to try to understand, to leverage one product to sell another product, and also is your account on TMall Global. So I will not say account. Starting from now, I will say the store, and also I will use the, let me say, merchant as the one that is selling the product. The second topic is also about the trademark. So what TMall asks to brand is which trademark is sold. Usually, most of the performing stores are mono-brand. So one trademark, many products are sold under that trademark. In some industries, it is possible to do a little bit different, like a multi-brand store. So I have a store where I sell different kind of brands. Also, this is possible. But the concept is the same. I need a trademark, and I need the authorization of the trademark. And there is a company that is the merchant. Why this is important? Because the merchant can be your company directly. So let me say the brand owner. But sometimes the merchant could also be a distributor. So you can find someone that is that want to distribute your product, selling it on specific platforms like TMall Global, and you have to authorize the merchant to sell your trademark, your products in the platform. This is super important because also how you create this deal with the distributor, if you don't go by your own, it's important because then if you want to change, if you have to change the agreement with the distributor, some technical specific things of that contract can save you against closing everything, save you to save the stock, to save the users that after a few years you have collected in the store, to transfer the property of the store eventually back to you or to another distributor. This is super important. So when you sign with the distributor, please let someone help you, not only on the legal point of view, but on the technical point of view on how the platform works. So let's jump back. Let's jump back to the easier model, and let me say also the one that works better. That is when you do your project by your own. So you are the merchant, and you have the right to sell that trademark that probably is your own inside your group to sell the products in the platform, and you go and register and become a merchant inside TMall Global. Usually, TMall Global could be operated by your own. So as all the digital platforms, you enter, you register an account, and you start doing operations. But it's quite difficult, not only for the Chinese topic, the language, but also because it's a technical solution and it's not easy to be managed. So usually you need a team or an internal team or an external agency that is called TMall partner, trade partner, that can operate the store for you. Let me say what we need to, what in Europe we call like a digital agency, a technical agency that can help for this specific topic. So you need a partner. These partners, like Adiacent, are certified by TMall. So there is an official list of these partners. You can even call TMall. They have teams everywhere, also in Europe. And you can ask, I am inside this category, I want a partner, can you suggest me a partner? Following that, their rules, they will give you a list of potential partners so that you can even see the different partners are proposing you different prices, different strategies, and you can choose the right one. So this is super important. And with the partner, so my suggestion is start with the partner. And with the partner, you do the assessment, the preparation, you do the technical part of the store application, and then you study the strategy in terms of marketing, which product, the prices, and so on. And you do the store development. It's a marketplace, so you don't have to develop a code, but you have to set the account in the right way to be performing when you will start selling your product. You will do the supply chain part. I will explain this to you later. That is super important. And then you start doing operation on this store in order to perform as more as possible, sell as more as possible, and let your brand become, let me say, as more as possible famous in the Chinese market. So the partner is super, super important. Only big brands and multinational brands with big branches in China, sometimes they have an internal team for doing this. All the other, but sometimes also they use partners. All the others use partners for doing this, okay? When you will open the store, you have to do a deep localization for the communication. As I told you, I will do a lot of examples on this specific industry. It's interesting, okay, it's not like fashion, but it's interesting because it's very technical. So how to explain a supplement or also a drug to the Chinese consumer inside also the compliance. There are rules. We cannot say that a product can do a specific things if cannot. We have to prove everything thing. In all the industries, like beauty, I cannot say that this product help you for your hairs if you don't have in your country of origin a specific certification, and we have to submit the certification and blah, blah, blah. So localization of the communication is not only graphic, it's not only design, it's also a matter of guidelines, is a matter of local laws, and the partner like us can strongly support you to do this. So you have to select a partner that is able to do this. Otherwise, you will face also problems related to the communication you're doing in the market. You will create product pages, home pages, banners, and so on, based on this kind of specific approach. I don't want to list you the bullet point like all the images and so on. You can imagine this. A very important thing is about logistics. How it works, for example, there are two ways. So I will sum up the two models. One model is the direct shipment. What does it mean? That I have a store on TMall Global, I receive an order from the Chinese consumer, and I can ship my product from my warehouse, let me say, in Europe. When this makes sense, when the price of the product I sell can afford, so the retail price of my product compared to the cost to send the goods to China, it makes sense. So for example, we can say that 20 to 40 euro for a fashion product, but if the fashion product is 400 euro, maybe it's 10% or 5%. Makes sense? Doesn't make sense? So we have to study this. So I can do this model that is direct shipment. The final consumer will receive this if I send with the big delivery international company in 3, maximum 4 days, even sometimes, let me say from 3 to 5 days. If this is acceptable based on the product, based on the price, you can do this direct shipment. So you manage the shipment with UPS, DHL, FedEx, and so on. But the model that works more is to arrange a warehouse in a bonded warehouse. So let me say free trade zone, bonded warehouse in China, meaning that you send a pallet, a container, a box, what you want of your product, by flight, by ship. The product can enter in these warehouses that are directly managed by the platforms. So TMall has its own platform under a specific name that is Cainiao. And they have warehouses in all China. They say, okay, for you is in Ningbo, for you is in Guangzhou. So when you apply, you will know which is your warehouse. You know the cost of this warehouse, and you send the goods, and you have each product in a shelf inside this warehouse. When the consumer buy, this warehouse will directly pick and pack, give to the delivery company, and in 1, maximum 3 days, you have all the product delivered in all China at a very small cost. I give you an example, under 1 kilograms, even if many products, cosmetics, beauty, fashion, and so on, you pay something like 1.4, 1.5 euro to deliver the box everywhere in China. So super cheap and super efficient. So this makes sense. It's better because you deliver fast to the final consumer. So the two model, you can choose the two model together with your partner. You can choose the best model, but usually the second one is a little bit better, but you can use the first one based on the product you have. I can also add you a few information about this process. You have to consider that these Chinese warehouses managed by TMall are super efficient. For every delivery, they have a camera, so you even can request the video of the preparation of the product. There are insurance. You can ask temperature control because your product can, let me say, have some problem. You can even stock difficult products like dangerous goods products like fragrances and so on. So it's a matter of arranging it properly. Ask the right service to these solutions. What I was telling you about the custom duty let me go quick about this. The rule is quite simple. You pay 9.1% on retail price. So let me give you an example. I sell a product at, now I stay in euro, okay, 50 euro. When the product is sold, maybe there is a discount, 40 euro. When I sell the product at 40 euro, the Chinese buyer pay 40 euro. You will pay to the custom 9.1% on this 40 euro. And it's quite easy to arrange this because it's directly managed by the platform. So you will see plus 40 euro in your wallet, and you will see minus for custom duty 9.1%. So easy to be managed, clear, and you pay this, let me say, tax in China, so you are compliant with the local law. So usually no problems at all. You don't have to prove something because everything is managed by the platform. So you will have about this Cainiao, that is the logistic company of Tmall, and you will use Alipay, that is the wallet of the Alibaba Group. Alipay, we are more familiar here in Europe with PayPal or other digital wallet. Is a digital wallet owned by your company, connected with your company, where you recharge some money for doing marketing activities, and you collect the money of your sales. And then you have a report on each cost of each sale, and you receive invoices from the platform related to the cost. So it's not, now I presented it super easy. In the first report, it's not super easy to understand how it works, but after the first registration is something that month by month, it's easy for you to be registered. There are stores, Italy, France, all European countries have stores on Tmall. So there are different kind of ways of registering inside your booking system of your company. And usually the partners, the Chinese one, they're a little bit more difficult for them to help you in Europe, but the one used to work in Europe can really support you also to arrange this part. Here you see also the price. For example, I was saying B2C delivery, you see 12 Chinese yuan renminbi per shipment under 1 kilo. So that is 1.4 euro. And then you have all the costs. You can choose. There is a storage fee. There is a storage fee for temperature control and so on. But I can tell you that the impact is not so big of this part. The biggest part is mainly on how many pieces you sell and how much you pay for each delivery. That is not super big. What you don't have to do, but it's taking a little bit too long, I think. So I will go fast on this, but it's important. As you see, I underlined here one very important thing. Sometimes a big problem is related to underestimating the budget of attracting users on the store, or the budget of becoming a little bit not famous, but let me say, let the consumer know your brand. There are different situations. Sometimes there are brands that are not managing the business in China, but it's 10 years that there is a distributor doing something, maybe not big volumes or something. So there is already an existing pool of users that know the brand. So sometimes it's easier and you don't have to invest a lot on that part. You go directly to the performance part. But sometimes the brand is not famous and you have to invest. So I don't see when I'm talking all the question, but I saw one now, which is the percentage. Okay, first of all, there is a balance on percentage between performance marketing, the one for sales, and brand marketing, the one only to, let me say, let the Chinese consumer become aware about the existing store and your brand. And this is based on how you are, let me say, already present in the market. And the second is about the performance already done in the market. If you start completely from zero, so I try to present you the worst scenario. You are from zero. You have to consider that for 1 or even 2 years, you are not break-evening, because the biggest cost is marketing. You are investing more compared to the sales that you have, and so you will have a loss. But like every business, you cannot consider to start with a positive P&L starting from day zero. Consider that here you don't have to buy a machine, you don't have to renovate a store and buy for, so you don't have CapEx, it's all about OpEx, okay? It's all about direct costs, and the most important is marketing. So you will see a model later of a budget, but if you start from scratch, you have to consider 1 or even 2 years or 1.5. You are absolutely investing more than what you are earning, but you can monitor week by week, month by month, campaign by campaign, the improving of the activities, fine-tune the project, and finally see that you are investing less and the sales are generating the, let me say, at least break-even and profit for your operation. You must have strategies on all these. Which is my traffic strategy? Why the people will enter in my store? How can I study how to push repurchase, repeat purchase? Which is my system? What I have to do? What can I give you a coupon? Can I invite the people? Can I give them something? Because it's all about digital. So why should I buy again the product? Because it's the right one, because I also have some incentive, because someone is pushing me some advertisement on my app, on, I don't know, even by SMS. We're doing a lot of these kinds of things. So there is a matter of a strategy. I can create a small group of users that can have 1 free if they buy 3, I don't know, these kind of things. But I need a strategy on this. And also content are important. We work a lot on content. We work, all the brands that are succeeding in the market are working a lot on content. You have to localize this content. You cannot consider, okay, I connect my e-commerce in Europe with TMall and the same images I use it in China. This doesn't work at all. We have to rebuild this. We are very lucky now. We have AI, so even if we have to, let me say, adapt a lot of images, we go faster, and we can use tools like live commerce, live streaming to push sales. I always say that live streaming is not only a way for, let me say, pushing discounts, but it's also a way to explain better products. So like every other agencies are doing, or brands, we have a studio in our office, and we do from 6 to 8 hours per day live streaming on different brands, together with other influencers, to keep the store alive, to push better a launch of new products, and so on. This usually you cannot from Europe do these kind of things by your own, but you can support. Sometimes you can join, you can give ideas, because your partner, like us, must understand as much as possible the asset of the products, the asset of the brand, to push it to the Chinese consumer. The question is, should I enter or not? It's very difficult. These are all questions. So in my opinion, the better is understand the category. Is the category going well or not? Understanding who is doing a great job in the category and why I can enter in this, and finding a space in the market. Are the consumer interested to the style, to the way I produce and sell my products? It is not real that the products produced in Spain, Italy, Germany, France, it's interesting for a Chinese consumer at all because it comes from Italy or from Germany. It's not real, this. I have to add the layers of design, science, style, and so on. Right now, as you know, new Chinese brands are coming out and they are amazing. And Chinese brands are also, and also not only because we are not only Chinese, because we are fighting also with US, New Zealand, Korea, Japan, brands from everywhere. So we must be very strong on many different kind of things. And we have to understand which are our assets and leverage them as much as possible. Then study the market, the product, and finally, the most important, a business plan. So you have to understand very well the business plan. Usually the TP develop a business plan for you, but you have to understand because sometimes it's not very well done and is mainly based on models, but you have to do your own business plan and understand your KPIs based on the one proposed by the agencies. Another part is important to share is that TMall is not everything. TMall is the channel to sell. TMall is the supply chain way. TMall is the legal framework also. TMall has internally some marketing tools, but I have to work also on other tools. And usually these tools are other digital platforms in China, mainly social commerce platforms like WeChat, Red, Weibo, and also here is not a matter of which one is more important. The real question is which one is good for your strategy, for your brand. It's completely different if I sell pet food against fashion, against gardening tools, okay, completely different. So we have to study a strategy on how to be present on the Chinese communication. As you know, in China, there is a great firewall, so a lot of Chinese consumers cannot see our website, international website. They don't read Instagram or other Facebook and so on. So we have to localize the communication. So part of the marketing budget is also doing these kind of activities. I think I already said this. So, Chenin, you're asking about fresh food. Yeah, there is a way of selling also fresh food, but usually the bigger market is not on TMall Global, is on TMall or other platform locally. So usually our suggestion for fresh food is to import the food using a Chinese legal entity or someone that help you with a Chinese legal entity, use a local warehouse, and then again use TMall, not TMall Global, so the one in China, TMall or other platforms to sell locally. Fresh food is not a super huge category inside the global, okay, inside global, but is super huge locally. Yeah, this about the label. I don't want to enter so deep about, yes, there is a matter of understanding with the Chinese custom. Each product, as you know, is different. So we have to understand with the custom what to be added without the certification standards and so on. And yes, many agencies also, we do this with our custom broker agency, with our supply chain company. So if you want, you can use and if you have additional questions, you can also ask us for this kind of information. Please, Chenin, let's explain a little bit about marketing in health, but not only, okay?
Cool. Okay, thanks, Lapo. I will go quite fast on this part.
Yes, yeah. Chenin, because my fault, I spent too much time. So you have like 5-7 minutes.
No problem.
Okay?
I think the first part is very important. And also, I just wanted to leave some time for a Q&A so we can like discuss more based on the attendees like portfolio. So in the next part, we specifically talk about the marketing for health category. And also for cross-border e-commerce in that framework. As you know, like if you enter through like the TMall Global, there's like the limits in terms of things you can do and you cannot. Also, we are talking about the health supplements, maybe a little bit also like medical devices. So these are the areas you have to also comply with the specific advertising marketing regulations in China. So from now on, we specifically talking about the marketing, like what you can do, some of the like the practice that we have seen or we have done ourselves for like the, let's say brands like are facing like a 0 to 1, so entering China. So obviously you see like bigger brands are doing something more relevant or on the ground in China, but just simply because like the face of their China, like the operations, not because the contents were not covering, but simply just because this is for the 0 to 1 scenario. So if anything that you are interested to know, or you have a question, please like drop in the chat or the Q&A section, and we can cover that afterwards. So as Lapo said, TMall Global as a platform is crucial as a tool for your China entry. There are other like the channels. So for example, like we're mentioning here, the WeChat, Red. These are the most common out of the platform tools, like the Western brands when they're entering China, they are using. Red, for people not familiar with China social, it's basically like Instagram-ish platform. While in China, it's more serve as a search engine. So when in China, when people don't know anything, well, now more and more DeepSeek, so like the ChatGPT of China, they are using a lot of more of that. But aside of that, is really just Red. Red is basically when you're encountering a new product, a new brand, you want to know what other people have reviewed, commented about the brand, the products, they go to Red. WeChat is basically a everyday communication tool, so it's relevant to be there. WeChat communication of the brands on the platform, it's usually looks like a e-newsletter, for example, using a more what you see in the West. But then again, this is like a common like the content platform to make the brand relevant, and also start posting the information in Chinese, so they know what's the product contains, what it's about, etc., etc. So a lot of these can be synchronized with your communication in the West. For example, we work with a lot of Italian pharmaceutical supplement brands. So what they were asking is literally just like put the China be part of their global content calendar. Different like the times, like the campaign celebrations, but then essentially to retain a global look, the brand, like the look and the feel, and also to make people aware that you're authentic Western brand. It's about also building the trust, as in the health, like the category, coming from a first unknown, because this is if you're thinking you're as a 0 to 1, that type of like the brand for China, the biggest challenge you're facing actually is as a unknown brand, because in the market, from the Chinese perspective, there are already a lot of like the existing bigger competitors in the market, also through the general trade. So they actually not only covering the online but also the offline channels. Second, I think the biggest one of the biggest challenge is actually when people thinking about the China, okay, well, I'm not trying to go to that cliche way of thinking, but then a lot of time we're still facing that question. Well, you have 1.4 like billion people. Like I'm even selling one piece of product to 1.4 billion. But then in reality, it's not that. As a 0 to 1 operation, for a foreign brand, actually, if you can cover the population, certain percentage of the population for Shanghai, Beijing, and also covering the southern, the Guangdong province, because that's traditionally has a very significant awareness of health, health management, health supplement. These three areas you can already consider a very successful entry. So this funnel of China, like the entry is actually not like a all-out offensive to all the regions in China, but more like penetrating the bigger cosmopolitans first, and then like as a second phase, third phase, you can gradually roll out your brand to other areas, regions in China. Marketing activities. This is just listing out some of like on the paper what actually can be done or with the examples. Performance media buy. This is covering both like inside the platform and also outside platform, but then with a landing to your product page, either on TMall or on any of the marketplace, so that you could be like receiving the ads on your the consumer's social media, or it could be on their TMall, like the product page when they are browsing the app. But then this goes with a strong purchasing, like the intention. The objective for the performance marketing obviously is just for people seeing the ads, people seeing the banner, and then they just click and land to the product page, so they pay and they buy. Then this is more like the down, like in the media, like the funnel. This is more like in the bottom, and then you have like more upper funnel, like the marketing like solutions. So here we talk about like the brand marketing. So there's a lot of not only your own content, your own TVC that you created in Europe, use of China, but also about engaging with Chinese influencers. KOC is a key opinion consumers. KOL stands for key opinion leaders. These are the acronym for basically like the loyal consumers, and also like the people with a lot of like the followers, how you engage as a brand with them to promote, endorse. This goes back to the first challenge I talked about, right? Like how to make people trust or known about a new brand that are coming to China. So the brand marketing essentially is about associating your brand with a someone in China with authority, with influence to promote, to endorse your brand and products. Performance KOL. This is maybe we can leave it for like the Q&A part, but then this is essentially the people that you might have heard live streaming on like the Douyin, the China's TikTok, and also on the e-commerce platforms. It's a very substantial part of the content is actually in like the live streaming. So a lot of these performance KOL, key opinion leaders are actually in the form of live streaming at the platform. So whatever they do, they also put your product in their live streaming session. Then whenever they talk about product, you can just click on the product and then buy in their like the live streaming sessions. So these are the very briefly the second.
Chelin, I do apologize because
yes,
we are going too long with that. Only the last information from your side about the internal tool that also TMall gives us to do activity. Really 1 minute.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, okay. So these are the few in terms of like the internal tools, you can understand it as a very simple way to explain it as a different banner resources that placed in the shop or in the application. So for example, when you're opening this TMall application on the phone, so it's composed by the different like the banner areas. Based on the banner areas, like so based on like what you see first, and then whether you will be triggered to click more and to interact more. So they kind of like the mixed all the different areas together, created the advertising spaces. So this is similar in a way with Amazon, but it's obviously a little bit different because on Tmall platform, it's more complex in terms of like the product page display. So it's just like there's a lot of more areas inside the platform. So you have the brand zone. So essentially is the CPM, like a type of like the costing, like the mechanism. You pay by the month or certain like fixed period, and you have the PPC ads. So you the pay per click, depending on how many people actually searched and clicked on the visual search in terms of the keywords. And then you have the Tmall external. External is basically to using the other platforms. For example, in this case, like Weibo. So it's also a Alibaba invested like a social media platform. So it's a bit of like Twitter, X. But then also these days are even on WeChat, on Douyin, you see that, you know, like the videos or the contents that in the end is about like landing a product code, a link to Tmall, like the product pages. So these are areas.
I do apologize because we have unfortunately time limit and we have to spend 5 minutes on the budget part, but I can tell to everyone that we have other more than 10 slides on marketing activities, and we really hope to share this with you or even answer to your question. So let me jump and thanks Chenin to the let me say business plan model. It's one slide. It's difficult, but I will try to do first year project and then you can try to understand the next years that are easier. This file is to show us a little bit how it works to do this TMall Global project. It's settled for a potential cosmetic or health supplement brand, but we develop business plans and deeper than this for all the project that we have to develop. But this is interesting to understand how it works. So let's try to read it top down. So GMV, as you know, are sales. So we are expecting the first year to sell 14,000 supplements that generates 385,000 euro sales startup first year. Which are the costs related to this P&L? First of all is the cost of the product, your production cost. We can estimate that in the supplement industry is from 8 to 20%, 8 to 20. So let's consider 12, okay? Then I go down. So this is not a cost that you have to pay outside. I'm talking about costs, okay? Your cost of the product. I'm not considering this business plan your management costs. So the people in your company managing the project, okay? This is up to you. I cannot do this. But understanding the costs is super important to develop the business plan. Then we go down and the first cost, the most important one is marketing. So I don't want to spend more time now. I will do a little bit later why it's so big. But I already told you, it's a startup project. No one knows this product. No one knows this brand. So I have to invest a lot. Which is the return on these marketing activities? How do I split this? How much is for performance? How much is for marketing? How much is maybe for arranging an event with influencers and so on? Let's set this as a total amount. I will tell you why we use this kind of model to create this number. But the most important and entering the technical is, which is the cost of Tmall? Everyone is asking, Tmall, how do I pay Tmall? So Tmall plus his payment tool Alipay has different kind of percentage going from 2 to 5%. Plus 0.9 for the payment solution. For the health supplement, you see 3.9 because it's 3% Tmall plus 0.9 for Alipay. So you pay on the GMV 3.9% directly deducted by your wallet by Tmall. Second, you have to pay an agency, a TP, a Tmall partner, or you have to hire someone to manage all the project. But let me say, usually everyone go with the TMall partner. This is not a fixed cost. This is something that you have to bargain with them. So a fixed fee, commission fee, service fee for the opening. Are you paying the market research or not? This is something that is something you will study together with the TMall partner. You will choose the one that fit with your situation. Usually consider that a TMall partner charge a little bit of fixed fee and a little bit of commission fee. Here you see, for example, an average of a commission fee. Usually the commission fee go from 5%, and if it's a fixed only commission fee, maybe goes even to 12, 15. If you pay a little bit fixed and variable fee, you stay around 5, 6 to 8. Okay. Then you have the custom duty on sales, and then you have logistics in China. So you saw the chart before about the cost of the warehouse and the pick and pack and delivery. So here is calculated with another part of the Excel file, number of pieces sold, number of pieces per order, and so on. And then you have international freight. For example, sending 14,000 pieces is 2 pallets of health supplement. Even by air freight, you can spend in 1 year this amount of money. Finally, you have a total cost of this. You have a sales like this, is an export sales. You don't pay local VAT in your country of origin, and you have a loss of this the first year. But the most important part, I jump back to the first line, is marketing. So how can we study which is the ROI, the gross conversion rate of marketing on sales? Okay, this 1.2 is marketing on sales. This is very difficult, but we can use peer brands, peer projects to study the cost of the startup. So usually we don't only write this number, we do a big breakdown of how to allocate the budget to do what and so on, but we have to study which is my target in terms of sales, potential in terms of sales for the first year, and then understanding which will be my cost for reaching this level and which is my conversion rate of all the marketing invested. So here you have from social media to event to performance marketing to TMall, Alimama, internal marketing, and so on. And as you can see, then we calculate the potential growth year on year of this project. This is not a very aggressive, but this is a project that is working, let me say. So it's not failing, it's not going very aggressive up, but this is something that we saw many times for brands, that year on year, the sales are bigger, and most important, the conversion rate of the marketing activities become better, meaning that I have to invest a lot too, but this is contributing for this sales on the year 2, but also for the growth for year 3. So if I am in a market-specific size where I can reach 3, 4, 5, 10 million euro sales, I have to use a model like this one, okay? So please ask to everyone is proposing you to partner for doing this project to develop a very deep business plan, understanding from sales to the cost of goods, to the cost of logistics, understanding very well the commission, bargain with the agency the right commission, and allocate in the best way the marketing costs to perform as more as possible in the year and for the growth of the other years. So this is to show you all the costs are related to the project and also the importance of the marketing and the impact of the marketing on the project. I think that time is over for us, and potentially we can go to Q&A. So I asked the organizer if they want me to go to some cases now. I can show 1 or 2 cases or even 1 case, or we go directly on Q&A. Okay, they're saying 1 case. So I will give you 1 case that for us is very interesting because we're talking about a company in Italy that is named Pharmanutra, is an Italian health supplement. So they are not developing drugs. It's a pure health supplement brand company in Italy. And is not a huge company, considered that when we started this brand, total sales globally were around 50 million. So not a small one, but not a multinational company, not a billion company. Okay, 50 million, owned by a family in Pisa. So a classic Italian small and middle enterprises. They have a very good product. This is an iron supplement. So for people with iron deficiency, what have we do for them starting from 2020, the end of 2022? So right now we have 3 years project. We studied the market a lot. So the very important thing was studying how is iron deficiency managed by the final consumer in China? Because we are not selling this product through doctors. We have to do the marketing activities directly online. We have to explain to the Chinese consumer, you can buy this product. The technology of this product is very good. You have a product without side effects, with a strong impact on your iron deficiency, with a strong impact on your body, and you can live better and so on. So if you are buying another iron product, why don't you buy this one? Why don't you try this one? So we studied a lot the project, and after 6 months, so around 4 months studying how to address the communication and which is the target consumer and so on. And after 3 months for the opening of the store, sending the goods. This is the average timeline. You need 3 months from the day 0 when you start registering the store to start selling the product. So very short time, 3 months, but it's not enough, because also you have to study which product, in which way to communicate. So usually it always takes a little bit longer. In this case, 5 to 6 months from when they signed the contract with us, we started selling the product. The first product was sold. So right now, this product is inside the TMall Global category of iron. Is the second product sold in China. And the interesting thing, there is a market size of 300 million euro of iron supplements sold on this platform. So it's not a small market size, because it's a very specific one. And we are growing a lot. And this year we are going, let me say, over 6 million euro sales. Okay. So after 3 years, they have invested, they have not earned money for the first and second year. So only at the end of second year, they started break-evening, and they also decided to invest more. So we launched also other products, not iron products, in the market, and we are growing a lot. So what was the most important thing, in my opinion, is not only doing the right operation. So engage in spend marketing in the right way, click in the right way in the platform, customer service very well done, social media managed very well done, but also target very well the right consumer for this product. Understand the right consumer and target the right consumer, and communicate to them why to buy this sideral against other potential good products, and even cheaper. Consider that this product is sold in China a little bit more than the price of Italy. So the average box is sold at around 25 euro, including discount. That for this specific industry is good, is very good. So very short, this was a presentation of one case. We have a lot of different kind of cases also in other industries. We can share it in other meetings.